Hey there guys, Mr. Short Hitter here.
You don't look like a short hitter to me.
I'm on a hole where I made a video recently about avoiding a blow up hole. There was a comment in the comment section. I think sometimes it's hard to get everything in a video, so I want to use this video to kind of explain that concept a little more and also use 3 different holes as an example. So guys, I'm not trying to redo the whole video. So go back and watch that video if you want a little bit more detailed explanation on the particular hole that I'm playing right now. But we're going to start out here as the first example. Now, one key thing I said in that video. I don't know how some people don't get in car accidents. One key thing I said in that video is on a hole where you have a landing area that's 40 yards wide, that no one should be hitting driver into that area. Maybe Calvin Pete, Fred Funk maybe, but for the most part, no one should be hitting driver in a 40-yard wide landing area. I think what the viewer missed is he was thinking I was talking about fairway. I wasn't talking about fairway. I was talking about 40 yards between hazards, between out of bounds and water. I think he missed that part, and I did reply in the comment, but he did not respond to my reply. About 200 yards to that creek. So I could hit a high wood down there and be pretty safe. I don't think I could get to the creek with that. However, there's really no use in even doing that because I'm going to lay up on the second shot anyway. So I'm just going to hit a 4 hybrid down there, and we're going to play it left because there's out of bounds on the right. And if we play it left, we keep it short of the creek on the left. Okay, I didn't hit it great, but again, like I said, I was laying up on this hole anyway. This is the #1 handicap hole in this golf course. So if you're a 5, 6, 10, 20 handicap, you have to play holes like this for a bogey. If I lay it up and happen to get up and down for a par, that's great. But even a 1 or 2 handicap on a hole like this, if you watch the Senior Club Championship, you can see there weren't many pars on this hole. Got 210 to that flag, closes in at about 140 yards. So I just want to make sure I hit it to where I don't get into the real tight part of the fairway. So I can hit an 8-iron down there and leave myself a little wedge into the green. Here's where the viewer got a little bit confused, I think, when I talked about landing area. He said every one of his courses, all the fairways are 35 yards wide. Well, the fairways on this course are smaller than that. However, we're talking about effective landing area. Now, if we hit a ball over here, this ball is going to roll into the creek. There's no doubt about it. If we get a ball hooking left of the fairway at all. So the landing area is here. If I go to the right, the out of bounds is just where the camera is. So that's 36 yards. So what I did was I took a club that I knew I couldn't reach the creek on the left. So I effectively made my landing area a lot bigger and just knew that I was going to lay up on the next shot. I'm telling you, I'm never going to be disappointed in bogeying a hole like this. The #1 handicap, 2 handicap, 3 handicap holes on the golf course, it doesn't really bother me to bogey those holes, especially when I'm hitting tee shots that I have to lay back to make sure they're safe. 73 yards here. I'm just going to hit a little 50, take a little bit off of it. Primary goal is to get it inside that 30-foot circle that I know I can 2-putt. Yo, Aqua Woman, I'm in the garage
working on the game, and I'm starting to think that I can really become a scratch golfer again. Well, listen, you don't have to be rude. I'm wondering, is a scratch golfer too good to play recycled golf balls? Well, listen, I'm obviously not going to get a straight answer out of you. What in the world is going on? As you can see, guys, it's very difficult to get a serious answer out of Aqua Woman.
Got it.
But if you're serious about your golf game, or not so serious, save some money at Golf Ball Planet, the #1 supplier of used golf balls since 1997. And you can also save 18% by using my code MSH18. I also put a link in the description.
Got a bridge that's on the left side, left of the fairway. That'll be my target here. Now I went left to that bridge. You can see the edge of the path, which is where I was aiming here. Now I'm going to go to the widest point of this landing area, to where if it goes any further right than this, it's probably going to risk bouncing and going into the hazard. 36 yards right of my center aim point. Here was the center of my aim. Versus the previous hole, the center of my aim would have left 18 yards right or 18 yards left to hit the golf ball if I chose to hit driver. So I could hit a ball 36 yards right and still be okay. Left is nothing but a few trees. So I could have gone 36 yards left. I could have gone 50 yards left here. So aiming at that cart path gave me 36 yards right to hit the ball. If you have a wider dispersion than me, then you could aim further left because these trees are not as penal. If I hit it behind one of these trees, then I could still just punch out sideways, hit it on the green and make a bogey. If you hit it out of bounds, you can't do that. If you hit it in a water hazard, then it makes the hole a lot tougher. Now, I can't talk about every scenario because your golf course may have heavy fescue grass, and heavy fescue grass can be just as penal as a water hazard. 130, pins in the front, so I will go 8-iron here. If that pin was tucked on the right side of that green, I would not aim at that pin because those trees overhang and you can clip one of those trees and be in a lot of trouble. So I'm going to aim this close to the middle of the green. And we pulled it. So that was not a bad play at all. The ball landed pin high, just a little left of the flag. But this goes to one of the videos I recently made about understanding course conditions, because this ball hit and bounced and trickled off of this side slope, and I would have been better off just short because it's a lot of slope here. Wow. Last example, the camera is right in the middle of the fairway. It's 27 yards to that camera. That gives me a pretty wide landing area. My dispersion is about 60 yards total. So if I aim in the center of that fairway, I feel like the most I'm going to miss it right and the most I'm going to miss it left is 30 yards. So a 60-yard wide landing area, I can aim right in the middle of that and still be safe. Now for you, maybe it's 70 yards, maybe it's 50 yards, maybe it's 80 yards. Assuming that you can carry this creek here, that's another issue that could come into play on your front and back dispersion. I do have this mound here that is in play if I don't hit it quite well. However, that mound is not really penal like a water hazard or like out of bounds. So if I hit it left and I don't happen to carry that mound, I can just wedge it up or hit a short iron up and then play the hole for a 5 or wedge it close and make a 4. One thing I want you guys to think about is when I say this and before I hit this tee shot, we're talking about the 95% of your shots. There are always going to be that 5% that you may hit in an area that's outside of your dispersion area because you just made a really, really bad swing. A little high, but inside that 30-yard wide fairway and well within that 60-yard wide landing zone that I had to deal with here. A little uphill slope, so I have to make sure to get to my left side here. Pins in the back. 171. It was 390 to the flag. Little into the wind. I'll go ahead and hit a 4 hybrid. To the left, though. Hopefully it's not. I think it's okay. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I got more videos on the way, but in the meantime, check out one of my favorite videos, the 7 benefits of being a short hitter. Until next time, Mr. Short Hitter, out.
5 holes to go, just play 13. Need a palm away, yeah. Gotta hit more greens.